what's going on? And today I just thought it would be a cool idea to go through some top 3 builds that I think is going to be really good on Vex. As we all know now that Vex is actually a lot stronger than we thought with her kinetic damage, after seeing a lot of the content creators use her with sniper builds such as Moxie. I think K6 used her builds quite a lot. And I kind of wanted to make some builds that for each of her 3 abilities. I wanted to make some class mods. I wanted to make some classes that I think will be the strongest on her. So first I wanted to start off with her phase familiar skill, and I'm gonna call this build Double Trouble. Just off of the pure basis that we're going to be increasing Trouble's output and Vex's output of damage. Our capstone is going to be Unsealed, where Trouble will now mark his current target, causing them to take increased gun damage from Vex. Kill skill: when a marked enemy is killed, Trouble gains a stack of Unsealed for a duration, gaining health regeneration and increased damage. While phase familiar is active, Unsealed effects are doubled. So this is kind of a double dipping skill where pretty much Trouble marks the target, we can do more damage to them, and then if we kill the target, Trouble gets health regen and more damage as well. For our augment, we're going to be doing beast mode, where Trouble will then become immune to damage and gain more attack speed and movement speed for a duration. This is just going to pretty much help Unsealed even more by constantly being able to attack the enemy. So mostly for this build, we're going to be going with increases for our action skill duration, overshields, crit damage, elemental damage, whatever the case may be. And I'm gonna kind of go through these skills one by one. First, starting off with the phase familiar skill tree, we're going to be going Grave Substance, which is a kill skill, and it restores a portion of action skill duration, which most likely this is going to be what, 20%. I think it's going to be like 20%. Then we go down. I kind of like Violent Outburst a little bit. It's kind of cool. It deals orders damage and restores our health, but it also sacrifices his health in the process, so I don't really know about that one. For the next skill down, we got the kill skill with Vex and her minions getting an overshield. Come on now, that just seems like a no-brainer. Babe, I am currently. I love you. And for our kill skill, we got. And for our next row, we got Overprotective, which is a kill skill where Vex and her minions gain an overshield. That's just a no-brainer. And then we also got Vorpal Fiends, which gives us more critical hit damage for us and the minions. As you can see, I kind of got this skill over here too. I just thought it was just going to be way better. Vex gains increased elemental damage, and it doubles with her action skill being active. That's just a flat increase in damage just in general. Another kill skill with Grave Current. Vex's minion gains extra shock damage, so pretty much Trouble can do shock damage now, which is good. Then we got another kill skill with Grave Thirst, where Vex and her minions gain lifesteal for a duration, so we get health back pretty much. And then we got Storm Bless, where Vex gains increased shock damage and shock status effect damage. So say we're using a shock weapon, not only do we get elemental increases, critical hit damage increases, if we kill, we get our action skill back some more, then we get more bonuses, and all. It's just going to keep compounding, and that's just always better in terms of mobbing, and especially sometimes even in bossing when there's a lot of ads. We got a couple more points in the Incarnate skill tree. We only got 5 in Grave Sight, which is just another kill skill to increase our critical hit damage. And then we got 9 more points in Dead Ringer, where we have another kill skill with Vex and her minions regenerating health over time, so we get more health regen. And then on top of that, I got Portents of Suffering, where Vex and her minions gain increased status effect damage. So we're just keep going on with the electrical, with the we're just gonna keep trying to increase that shock damage output for not only us but Trouble. So if you want to have more of a shock based build where you have a lot of damage, so if you like Trouble and you want to pretty much bring the most out of it without having to go into the other skill trees, shock damage is most likely going to be your way, and this helps us keep our health up and Trouble's health up for a longer period of time. We got Necromancer Vex, where we're going to be mostly going into our Dead Ringer skill tree, which Dead Ringer is pretty much her summoning specters and reapers, specters being able to shoot and reapers being able to melee attack with scythes. We're going to be going all the way down to the capstone of Dark Pact, which Vex can equip 2 augments and gain the ability to use Dark Pact. Dark Pact helps restore health for all of the phase clones, as well as increase our movement speed and minion attack speed for a duration. Phase clones do not lose health over this time period if that of Dark Pact is active, and health loss is reset when Dark Pact ends, meaning that we can continuously keep our specters up and alive and dealing increased damage speed or increased attack speed. Also, for our 2 augments now, since we got Dark Pact, our 2 augments are going to be Wither, where our specters can then shoot status effect damages over time, making pretty much our damage output go up even more, and us killing a withered enemy, which is now a kill skill. And for our augments, we got Wither, where when our specters spawn, they cast Wither on an enemy, dealing status effect damage over time and increasing the damage taken for a duration. This can also double as a kill skill, which killing a Wither enemy allows the specters to use Wither again. And I kind of wanted to combine this with our Gas Blaster skill, which pretty much say if we summon a specter, they're going to use Gas Blast, and they're going to use Wither, which is pretty much just going to double down on our damage dealing potential to that withered enemy, and then pretty much is just going to also deal more gun damage on top of that, so pretty much helping us kill withered enemies faster, which will make us use Wither again and again and again and again and again. You get it, okay? So for this skill tree, we got Cold Iron, which gives us gun damage. Then we got Portents of Suffering, which gives us status effect damage, which also helps with Wither since we are dealing status effect damage. We have another kill skill with Grey Fiends, helping us increase our damage dealt. Then we got Prismatic Ichor. I'm gonna guess what that says. When Vex or her minions apply a status effect, another random status effect is added. So hopefully, I'm believing that this can also stack with Wither, which is doing a status effect damage, and then on top of that, we can most likely get another status effect damage, which then also goes to Gas Blaster, which if we deal Gas Blaster, I'm hoping that it does an element. If not, then that's perfectly fine. Regardless, it's still flat damage. Then we pretty much go down. We get more minion damage. So as again, that can also accommodate with these. Whenever Vex takes damage while at low health, it spawns a Reaper nearby. So pretty much we can get a spare Reaper just in case. And then on top of that, we can get Ancient Rites, which increases our minion damage. And then I think this Diner skill, that adding another Dead Ringer charge, is just going to be a plus regardless. It's pretty much just going to do everything at once. We do also have some of our skill points in Incarnate and Phase Familiar. So for the skill points I put in Incarnate, is pretty much just going to give us our kinetic status effect damage, which on top of that, that is also good. So say we're shooting an enemy with our kinetic gun, which is pretty much just no elemental damage. If we're shooting an enemy with a kinetic gun, we can proc bleed, which is a status effect damage on that enemy, which then in the other skill tree would cause another status effect to proc on that enemy. And then over in Phase Familiar, we also have our kill skill, which we get action skill duration back. So this is just pretty much unlocking all of our status effect damages to then stack on each other. And also we get other minions and reapers to draw aggro while we deal out as much damage to these wither enemies as possible. And last but not least, we're going to be going straight into our Vampire Vex build, where I'm mostly putting everything in Incarnate. Like the Incarnate skill tree is so deep when it comes to kinetic and elemental damages, especially since now kinetic can become a status effect damage with bleed. This also is just insane. It's just insane. So we're going to be constantly getting our health back while constantly putting out more kinetic damage, and on top of that being able to do radiation damage with spawning a hazard. So we're going to be going all the way down, and as you can see, I have 2 different capstones right here. I got Desecration, which is going to be the phase explosion, and Eldritch Blast, being able to create hazards dealing more damage over time. And this also makes our Eldritch Blast being homing, and it can burst in a delay on enemies that are airborne. So any airborne enemies, most likely it will just cause a Nova Wave around them. But we also have Heart Piercer, which is going to sacrifice our health in exchange for more damage. So these 2 capstones can be interchangeable. Say you just want to So yeah, we have these 2 capstones just in case you wanted to mostly focus on your hazards, and just in case you mainly wanted to focus on the dot damage, you will most likely be using Desecration. But if you wanted to just flat out obliterate any of the mobs that are around you, you can just use your Heart Piercer. On top of that, we have Leeching Attunement, which gives us an added attunement to kinetic damage, which gives us lifesteal and reload speed. Then we have Bloodletter, which I believe is probably going to be her strongest ability, which is going to give the ability of kinetic status effect damage over time for a duration, which will apply bleed to enemies. Then we get more kinetic damage and status effect damage. And I also got a little skill over here with Grave Implement that gives us more gun damage for a duration, which is going to double back into the kinetic damage. Then we have Conjunction on our left side, with us getting more gun damage the fuller our shield is. So say I'm a sniper and we're now entering combat, most likely my first shot is going to do a lot of damage. And then we also have Radiation Hazard. So when we deal gun damage, we have a chance to spawn a Radiation Hazard doing radiation damage. So that just helps with our damage output just in general. Then we go over to Ars Arcana, which gives us more skill damage. And then we get Essence Leech with more lifesteal, and Blood is Power with more kinetic damage with our guns based on the lifesteal when our health is full. So if we keep our health up, which most likely we will be doing with lifesteal and the bleed effect, we will be able to get bonus kinetic damage on top of that. And then we also get our kill skills for an increased duration with 1 point in a deeper grave. And then I only got 5 points into phase familiar with enchantment to increase our kinetic damage even more with weapons during our action skill. So say we're constantly throwing out our orbs, constantly making them blow up and doing it again, blah 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 blah. This will pretty much just help us keep that damage up. So you guys, let me know in the comments what you think about these builds, if you're thinking about implementing these builds or even doing your own versions. I would like to know how you feel about Vex and her skills. Do you think they're going to be as strong in endgame as I believe they're going to be? Because I think she's going to be very good at endgame, especially with bossing. Always being able to proc a bleed on a boss is insane. So like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys think, and peace out.